Coach, you talked about how Crow had to be better, and he said he had to be better, not just performance, but what does it say about him being able to put that last game behind him and have the game he had?
I thought it was a great response and a tremendous effort by him. He was square, solid, in control. I think his rebound effectiveness today was as good as we've seen, so it was a real solid game for him, and tight one throughout, 3 games in a row. It's been a very intense series and extremely close.
What can you say about Michael Hands? He was, throwing himself in front of pucks left and right down that third period there.
The doctors say he's a warrior. You can't say enough what he brings to the team and the little things that he does so well. He leaves it out there. He's a great pro.
Coach, when you have a close game, you get in shots, you have power play opportunities. Does the team have to fight frustration that they're not putting something else in the net?
No, with the lead, it makes it a little bit easier. Certainly, the power play was not very good tonight. It's an area that we want to make sure that you don't really want to lose the momentum off it in the game. And I think that it was our offensive guys too that they feed off of that and they get a little bit more comfortable with the puck as you progress in the game. So we need that to be something to trigger our offense.
Joel, Corey mentioned that you guys spoke yesterday, and I guess number one, does that happen often, that you go talk to the goalie? And number two, just when you said he needs to be better, you're repeating what he said, obviously, but is it also somewhat of a challenge when it comes from the coach?
Well, I think that we have a lot of one-on-one meetings throughout the season, but I think we get ramped up come playoff time, whether they're goalies or players. I generally stay away from the goalies, but it wasn't really a challenge, but we were just like any player having a chat, and I was basically commending him on accepting that responsibility that what he said.
Joel, you put Patrick Kane and Jonathan back together. What can those guys do together? I know you try to keep them apart to balance the lines, but when you go back to those guys, what do they bring?
Well, 2 special players, and they feed off each other, anticipating offensively. See plays, make plays, and they're a threat off the rush and zone. They're 2 pretty amazing players, and sometimes in a tight game like that, it was like, but I was comfortable with that line and both sides of the puck, and Vic adds a little dimension as well, so it was effective tonight.
Coach Hitchcock was in here saying winning a playoff series can be more about beating a team's resolve rather than a team's skill. Do you agree with that?
Well, I'd say everybody's got a different approach, but it's this series, I think it's not going to slow down as far as the intensity. It's extremely high-paced, passionate, and we just got to keep persevering because we expect that team to not change a bit that approach. And we felt that the first 2 games might have been better than tonight's game, and we got to get we got to pick it up from today's level.
Psychologically, was it important to win a close game like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. It was tough walking around in here yesterday, down 2-0, and could have had 1 in there at least. And so it was 2 brutal losses, and today it was a little tight at the end as well. But I think that we can get a lot of momentum and enthusiasm off it, and certainly confidence down the stretch as well in games.
Thank you.
Thanks.